Sophie Cunningham goes in the post-game press conference and confirms what we've all known all along. This locker room is split, and she uses the term different islands going on in this locker room. It turns out that Christy Sides and all of those toilet paper mummy activities, all those scavenger hunt activities, the wiffle ball coming back from the Olympic break, it turned out that those stupid games actually played a big part, along with Erica Wheeler's veteran leadership, keeping this locker room, keeping this team.
Did Sophie Cunningham just spill the entire fever tea? The locker rooms are reportedly splitting faster than a cheap wig in a windstorm, and the front office is out here playing professional hide-and-seek with accountability. Who's actually feuding? Who's faking those smiles for the cameras? And why does it feel like a halftime reality show in progress? Grab your popcorn, because this drama has more twists than a season finale cliffhanger. Sophie lit the match, and now the whole building's engulfed in smoke. Let's get into it before anyone disappears from socials.
What is going on with the Indiana Fever? Is tensions mounting? Did Sophie Cunningham just expose the truth that's going on with the Indiana Fever? Is there some turmoil brewing? Is there issues in the locker room?
And we talk about this. We are circled on everybody's schedule. Everyone, no one likes us, right? So everyone in our locker room, that's the only type of people that we have that we can lean on. And we got to be better in that area. We have got to stay disciplined. We have to stay focused. We need to get consistent, and we got to lean on each other. And I think that we've kind of wavered a little bit on that. We have our own islands, but as one of the leaders on the team, I got to do a better job of grouping people.
So here we are. Caitlin Clark, the living, breathing embodiment of everything the WNBA claims it values but somehow fails to shield, is still showing up, still scoring, still handling chaos with the kind of grace most pros would envy. It's like she's starring in a hazing horror show that somehow feels sanctioned. Caitlin has the humility of a saint, a work ethic that could power a small city, and a patience that suggests she either trained with angels or just has divine-level media instincts.
Sophie Cunningham, in the post-game interview, speaks on this team and the islands within the locker room. Everybody's on their own little island. We're going to get back to that real quick. Listen to what Stephanie White said in the offseason. One of her thousands of interviews that I called out. Stop doing interviews. I want some wins. One of her 1,000 million interviews during her press run in the offseason.
And yet somehow, she's being cast as the problem. That math doesn't add up. Fans aren't obsessed with her because of a fluke viral moment. They're obsessed because Caitlin is a once-in-a-generation talent. Her personality doesn't scream diva. It whispers, "I'm here to raise the bar," all while flashing that effortless smile and signing every autograph like it's part of her superpower.
Really interesting comments from Sophie Cunningham. And yes, you kind of have to read between the lines a little bit, but I also think it is a pretty clear admission, just without detail, of what has been going on with the Indiana Fever this season. And it is not good at all. It makes it really, really difficult for teams to put together winning performances when you have all of this going on. And no, I'm not even talking about the distraction of Caitlin Clark and her injury and other things, although that plays a part as well. But she also does make a comment that I think is important in terms of who the Indiana Fever are as a team and how that makes things more difficult as well. So I want to take a listen.
People flock to her because she radiates authenticity and charm. That rare blend of talent and moral decency feels like it was hand-delivered straight from her Midwest roots and baked into a metaphorical casserole of goodness. She's not just an athlete. She's a genuinely good human being, a mythical find in today's sports universe.
I'm not sure Sophie meant for it to come out like that, but it's something I have suspected for a while, maybe about 4 weeks now. It's something that Jason Whitlock jumped face first, head first into the deep end the other day on, that the locker room with the Fever, and just to keep it real, I agree with him on this. I think there are some preferences in the locker room where these young ladies differ in how they handle or how their preferences in their personal lives, and the locker room is divided.
Let's talk about the ground level reality, aka the locker room. Peace is reportedly scarcer than a technical fall on her attackers. Meanwhile, the Fever front office seems more focused on rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic than protecting their crown jewel. Caitlyn's being elbowed, hacked, and subtly sidelined by her own teammates. Forget chemistry. The franchise is cultivating resentment like an HGTV show called Flip This Roster. This isn't a minor personality clash. It's full-on civil war. Sports edition. Half the team acts like they'd rather sit on the bench than pass her the ball, while the other half is too busy strategizing survivor-level alliances. Let's not sugarcoat it. The system is a mess. This isn't player development, it's derangement. Giving Caitlyn elite court vision and wasting it on teammates who refuse to cooperate is like handing Einstein a crayon and locking him in a toddler classroom. The playbook seems to be, ignore the superstar, force bad shots, and hope Clark can clean up the mess in post-game interviews.
I've been watching that Sophie Cunningham thing on repeat, man. That clip where she grabbed the girl and threw her down, so foul. It's a hard basketball foul, probably over the top. Of course it is, but why would it not be given the circumstances? But once she did the clinch, man, MMA fans, UFC, grappling, Muay Thai, like we all know. Once you seen that clinch, it was like, okay, she just ain't no regular fucking person. She knows something. She got some skills, and I guess she has like a black belt in Taekwondo or some shit like that, which is wild. And apparently she was the kicker on a high school football team.
She doesn't need to throw chairs or tweet shade. What she does need is a Magic Johnson-level move. Not the friendly smile and wave magic, but the this coach goes, or I go magic. Subtlety has left the building, and polite silence isn't cutting it. The league is profiting from her image. The front office is cashing checks off her hype. Meanwhile, she's expected to smile while teammates side-eye her like she cut the buffet line. Every star eventually faces a choice. Carry the broken system or break it to rebuild it. Caitlyn's restraint is insane. Most players in her position would have filed complaints, posted cryptic Instagram stories, or dropped a passive-aggressive podcast episode. Caitlyn? She just keeps showing up, taking hits like a pro boxer who somehow signed up for basketball instead. Surviving daily chaos and remaining gracious? That deserves its own award.
What's interesting is everybody hates them for multiple reasons, but the one I want to talk about when she said about circled on the schedule that I think is important, because it's easy to look from the outside and be like, well, that shouldn't matter. And it shouldn't matter, but it does. And what I mean is we're all human, and not everybody's athletes don't. They should. They get paid to. It's a job. It's a blessing.
And the fans, let's talk about them. The ones buying overpriced tickets, rocking her jersey, dragging their skeptical friends to games, turning Clark Effect into an economic stimulus. They aren't just here for basketball. They're here because she represents something rare: excellence paired with kindness, fame paired with humility, stardom without ego. She makes sports feel like more than drama and marketing. And yet, she's trapped in a league that benefits from her brilliance, but is too scared to protect her. No excuses, she's not a rookie anymore. She's the league's golden goose, and right now, that goose is being roasted. Caitlyn deserves structural support, coaching that leverages her strengths, teammates who want to win, a front office that actually manages team dynamics, not just cap space.
About taking accountability. Now, I can't say that last play with the 5-point swing. I think more so of she shouldn't have been in front of Stevens, man. She is too big. She is too big. Yeah, I get it, box out, but it was better to have Boston in her spot. Now, I did hear Stephanie White take accountability on that one. She was like, yeah, it's probably on me. I should have switched them too, made sure we had the big right there, but, you know, it just slipped her. But, yeah, I think in that instance, it should have been Boston right there. It's big on her to take the accountability, but, yeah, Boston should have been there. She could take fault in it too, because it's also like you have to recognize what's going on, right?
Because right now, the chemistry experiment is imploding, and Clark is the only one trying to clean up the mess. And while we send prayers and good vibes, consider this a memo to the league. Stop pretending this isn't happening. She's not asking for favoritism, just fairness. There's a difference between star treatment and basic human decency. She shouldn't need to ice her body after every game just to survive targeted plays. The blueprint exists. Magic did it in LA. LeBron did it in Cleveland. This isn't just basketball anymore. It's principle. The WNBA could become something bigger and better, but the path runs straight through Caitlin Clark. Right now, though, they're fumbling the bag, the script, and the plot. She's playing 4D chess in a league that's still debating checkers rules.
So after last night, another collapse by the Indiana Fever and giving up a fourth quarter lead to lose the game, Sophie Cunningham had pretty interesting words in the post-game, after the post-game interview, and what she said pretty much spot on for what everybody has been thinking, or some of us have been thinking, is that there is some kind of issue in the locker room. And she put it plain and simple as we could get it. And maybe this could lead to what DeWanna Bonner left. Now, there could be some issues, there could be some players, and we already know that there's a gender out against the Indiana.
If the Fever won't act, she should force the conversation. Make it uncomfortable. Because the only thing worse than drama is silence that lets it fester. Speak up, not for drama, but for her career and for every little girl thinking, that's who I want to be. Right now, that dream looks bruised. God bless her for not snapping, not clapping back, for showing up when most of us would have invented a fake injury and gone to a beach. She's been the grown-up long enough. Time to flip the script. The system isn't broken, it's rigged. She doesn't need to adapt. It needs to evolve around her. The play, demand better, loudly and publicly. The kindness and grace period are over. Time to stand up, not figuratively but loudly. No more nodding through cheap shots or backhanded passes. No more pretending Natasha Howard and Brianna Turner's weird energy isn't exactly what it looks like. Pure, uncut hater juice.
But I just think that it's impossible to think that's not a real possibility here. You know, and it should be noted, Stephanie White. All right, Stephanie White checks some boxes. And then you've got Sophie, and you got Caitlin, and you got Aaliyah, and you got Lexi. To my knowledge, probably Demarius Dantis, but I don't know. Michaela Timpson, I don't know. That don't check some boxes.
Let's call it what it is. These players aren't just competitive, they're passive-aggressively sabotaging. Natasha Howard never even pretended to like Caitlin. Apparently, Caitlin's rising stardom triggered a veto-level reaction. Jealousy is free, but the weird bitterness towards someone elevating the league? That's a choice, a loud, bitter one. And Bree Turner? Same story. She and Howard practically pioneered the dislike Caitlin, blame the fans movement. Every highlight, every sold-out arena, every mention of Caitlin's name triggers them like someone just cranked the thermostat up 2 degrees. And Dana Bonner? That performance was petty-level Olympic. She launched into collisions like she had a vendetta from prom night. It wasn't defense, it was a target mission. Caitlin's too respectful, too professional, too PR-friendly. She's surviving, not learning. Bitter vets and passive teammates are testing her patience, and the league continues to exploit her for ticket sales and viral clips. Caitlin's a movement, a brand, and a booming business, but instead of protection, she's stuck in petty turf wars with players who peaked a decade ago.
Now everybody knows who Sophie Cunningham is. Everybody wants a piece of Sophie Cunningham. Her jersey is the #1 selling jersey in the WNBA. Sold out. Now, why is that significant? I'll tell you. Because her jersey surpassed the all-time woman, Caitlin Clark. The most popular woman ever in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, got her jersey surpassed by Sophie Cunningham. Why? because Sophie Cunningham stood up for Caitlin Clark. She did all of these Instagrams. She did all of this stuff. And next thing you know, it all didn't matter.
At this point, Caitlin has every right to flip the narrative. The nice girl mask has done its job. Now comes spine. She needs to demand better from teammates, from coaches, from the league. Silence equals weakness, and the longer she allows nonsense, the more emboldened these players become. Public accountability is overdue. Leadership sometimes means slamming the table. Maybe they've been too comfy in petty politics while basketball takes a backseat. Walk into that locker room like a CEO finding her company underperforming. No fake smiles, no pretense that the offense works, no tolerating being iced out of plays. Call it out, fix it, or flip it.
They've been losing leads. The close on games has been very, very, very much of a struggle for them. And yeah, you have to face the ugly part about it. You have to figure out what you're going to do to actually fix that situation. You know what I'm saying? Fix that issue that y'all keep having. It's about want to. It's about grit. It's about, saying no. We're going to win this game and there's nothing you're going to do about it. And a part of that comes from just wanting to win, wanting to get that dub. So, yeah, I kind of understand Sophie. I do have grace for this team. But at the end of the day, man, you can think about probably 2-3 other teams who have just put their team together as well, and they are finding ways to win more games than the Indiana Fever.
Right now, it's about survival, not adaptation. Sabotage wrapped in fake camaraderie. And for those trying to disguise hostility as competitive spirit, save it. Selective aggression is transparent. Nobody's shoulder-checking anyone else with the same intensity. Caitlin's time for Minnesota Nice is over. She needs loud, unapologetic leadership that makes it clear she's not a subplot. She's the headline. This isn't about meanness. It's about ending the cheap shots, ending the clicks, and ending the fake smiles while people who couldn't lace her sneakers play gatekeeper. She's already elevating the game. They didn't pass her the ball? Fine. She'll take the entire game herself.